Have you ever thought that you don't have to render your demo into MP3 or WAV? Well, I did, and you're not gonna believe me. So formats that I think most people usually know of are WAV, FLAC, and MP3. And these three are actually very different from one another because WAV is raw, FLAC is a replacement for WAV because it's a lossless codec, and MP3 is a lossy codec. Today I'm gonna mostly talk about only lossy codecs, but just so you know, raw files are not cool because even if you're recording some kind of simple sound or silence, your file is gonna be massive anyway. The weirdest thing about FLAC is that people think that it's some kind of audio file format for people that can hear the difference between MP3 and WAV, and it's not. Watch this. I'm gonna convert this loop into MP3 and into FLAC, and look, the FLAC file weighs less than MP3 while having the same quality as WAV. Those streaming services that advertise lossless quality, FLAC wasn't created for that. I think FLAC should be used for sample packs and stuff like that, but we will get to why people don't do that. So yeah, for lossless codecs, FLAC is great, that's it. But for lossy codecs, MP3... the main problem with MP3 is that it's an ancient technology, and I'm gonna prove this today. We're gonna compare it with AAC, OGG, which is Vorbis, and Opus. Here they're actually placed in a chronological order, so MP3 was created after WAV, AAC was meant to replace MP3, and so on. Actually, there are a lot more codecs than that. Some of them are very interesting. Yeah. There are a couple of them out there. Yeah. Maybe too much. There are, for example, some that are designed for monophonic signals and speech, which probably means they're recording just the pitch and then the harmonic series for that pitch. But I'm just guessing. Anyway, I'm gonna take a couple of tracks and render them into all those codecs and let the battle begin. Low temper As you can hear, Vorbis and Opus are way ahead of MP3 and AAC, and by the way, that stupid pause at the start of MP3 files, yeah, OGG doesn't have that, and by the way, OGG is 32-bit float, meaning it's not gonna just clip values above 0 dB. But then, why nobody is using them? MP3 works fine. AAC, not today. AAC in M4A format, not today. Vorbis works fine. Opus in OGG works fine, but there's a little pause at the start, and Opus in Opus container doesn't work. So I tested some DAWs, and as you can see, some of them just don't care about Opus. No AAC support is fine, I don't need it. I'm pretty sure AAC is like not even free, but Opus is. So yeah, I guess Vorbis is the choice. is what I would say, except there is also logic that doesn't support anything, even Vorbis, even a flac. Yeah. Thank you, Apple. And also dropping OGG into Premiere Pro. Of course. Interesting. Okay, dropping this file into DaVinci Resolve. Dropping this file into... And yeah, also some video editing software that doesn't support anything that I'm using right now. And also a lot of other stuff. For example... Oh wait, they fixed it. Alright, let's say I'm a user of Ableton Live, and I just want to render my demo into the... Okay, let's just upload it to the... Okay, for this tool, there's actually a very handy tool for Windows that lets you just convert files and explore like this. But yeah, you might ask, like, why do I care? Like, do you have 1 megabyte of free space on your disk? And actually, to be honest with you, the main thing why I hate MP3 is the pause at the start. I know it's probably the problem of like some software not updating the library that decodes the MP3 file, because sometimes some programs don't have that pause, they somehow deal with it. But that pause at the start of MP3 file, it is so annoying. How many times? Interesting fact, if we open Edison and drop some random track into it and just like set its volume to -infinity, you can see that obviously the sound completely disappeared, and even if we try to normalize it, nothing will happen. But as you can see, this file is saved in 32-bit float format. What does that mean? If I now go and save it on my hard drive like this, right? And open this program called PyCharm, and so, well, I just wrote this little script just because of this idea, and let's run it. And now a new file appears, this little file. I get sound from, well, of course it looks like this, but I got sound from the file where there wasn't any. And all that is because in the float format there is this thing called -0. And so when we set the volume, there still was information about the sign. So yeah, completely useless information, you're welcome.